Hi, welcome back to part 2 of the syllabus and schedule and such policies. So we left off by saying late assignments are not accepted unless there's an emergency. Okay. How is class time going to go? Usually it goes 30 minutes of lecture where I present information at the board, hopefully with some participation from you. Then we spend 25 minutes solving problems, and then if there's time, 10 minutes of discussion and wrap up. This 25 minutes of solving problems is very important. Learning math is a lot like learning a foreign language. Okay, there's new vocabulary, and you have to be able to use that vocabulary in certain ways. You have to get comfortable speaking this sort of new language. And if you think about a good foreign language class, it probably ran as follows. The instructor told you some stuff, like how to conjugate verbs properly, or some vocabulary, or whatever. And then after that, you spent some time in class speaking, right? It's very hard to learn a new language if you don't speak it. So that's what the purpose of this is. You'll be working in groups, usually, and the groups are supposed to help facilitate that speaking, right? So in a foreign language class, you don't talk to yourself, right? You talk to other people. Okay, grading, how's the grading work? Math Excel, the online homework. A problem is right or wrong. The computer can only grade the solution, the final answer. But you can redo a problem as many times as you want. And if that's not the case, if Math Excel does not let you do that, you must let me know so that I can check the settings. Or sometimes things go wrong, But you have infinite possibilities to get every question right if you want. And the reason I do that is because, of course, when you're learning something, you'll make mistakes. And learning from mistakes is how you learn, right? So it's not important when you're first doing these problems that you get every question right the first time. Math Excel allows you to learn from your mistakes and still get full credit. On the paper homework, the same kind of thing applies. As long as you give the problem an honest shot, you can get full credit for the problem if you just come see me before the next exam and convince me that you won't make the same mistake. So convince me that if you see a problem similar to what you're looking at now on an exam, you will get it right on the exam. Okay? So just show me you've learned from your mistake you made on paper and you'll get full credit back. The only exception is if you don't try the problem the first time around. Okay? You can't hand me blank sheets of paper for paper homework. Okay, that's not acceptable. You have to give it an honest try. But if you do, you can get all of your points back. There will be some exams. Here's the grade breakdown. Okay, you can email me anytime. Just make sure it's professional communication. And if I don't respond within 24 hours, please email me again. Usually I respond much more quickly than that, but sometimes things get lost in the shuffle. So if I don't respond to you, please email me again. And, please refrain from asking me things that are in this document. This document's on Moodle. If you want to know what my office hours are or when your next exam is, just look at the documents on Moodle. It's faster to do that than to email me and wait for a response. Okay, here at the end of the syllabus, let me just make a few comments. I have sort of 7 tips for succeeding in this class. The most important one is this number 1. You have to be willing to ask questions. If something in lecture confuses you, ask me about it. If something in the homework confuses me or confuses you, hopefully it doesn't confuse me, you have to ask about it. Anything that bothers you, you have to ask me, and you should ask me sooner rather than later, okay? And I guess at this point I should just say something that I think is important for students. Some students think that if they ask me a question, if they're confused about something, I'm going to judge them personally. I'm going to think they're dumb. I'm going to think they weren't paying attention the first time around or whatever, right? And I have to assure you right here that that is not the case, okay? If you are confused and you ask me questions, I am delighted, okay? That is what you should do. In particular, I am fully aware that not everybody understands things the first time I say them, right? That's not how learning works. And I'm aware of that, okay? So if you have questions, if the homework is bothering you or whatever, you need to ask me, and I'm happy to talk to you about it, okay? I don't think that you're bothering me. It's not an annoyance. I don't think you're dumb, etc., 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 okay? So please come to me if you are having issues. In particular, I like talking math with people, okay? Like, I'm a math professor. I like talking math. So if you ask me questions, it's an opportunity to talk some math with you, okay? So please do this item number 1. These others are pretty self-explanatory. You have resources at your fingertips. You should use them. You have me, you have your textbook, you have classmates, there's free tutoring, etc. Use those things. The homework, you should keep in mind, can be used, it's a tool for learning, and like any tool, can be used wisely or unwisely. You should use it wisely. So keep in mind, the homework problems themselves are chosen to help you learn the material. Right? That's what they are there for. As you are doing the homework, you should diagnose whether you actually understand what's happening. So if every single homework problem takes you 20 tries, or on every single homework problem you have to ask a classmate for help, or if you have classmates just do your homework for you, then you obviously don't understand what's happening and you should come ask for help, okay? So even if you get hundreds on the homework assignments, you should be asking yourself, can I do these problems on my own on an exam? And if the answer is no, you need to come see me. Okay, you should come to class. Much of learning comes from struggling with difficulty. Some of the homework problems are hard. They are hard by design, okay? It is useful to struggle with some difficulty sometimes, right? To stretch yourself beyond what we did in class. So hopefully you're willing to do that. Learning is your responsibility. Keep that in mind, okay? Whoops, I shouldn't have the word calculus in here. We're not doing calculus, are we? But anyway, the spirit here holds. If you don't take the homework seriously, don't come to class, whatever, I cannot help you. Okay, so finally on the syllabus here, if you've missed a day of class, I've outlined here a strategy for you. Here is what you should do if you miss a day of class. First thing to notice, what you should not do is nothing, okay? You should do something. You should not just miss a day of class and then show up next time expecting that things will work out for you, okay? If you've missed a day of class, you've missed something we've built on and you'll be confused. So, item number 1, check the schedule on Moodle to see what material you have missed. There is a schedule on Moodle. It is this spreadsheet here. It looks like this. It tells you what we're covering on what day, right? Topic and section of the book. If it's not in the book, you need to go to the class notes of a classmate or go to Moodle. There are slides on Moodle, things like that, okay? But you can see what you've missed. Try to read the section of the book or the slides, get the course notes. If something confuses you, prepare a list of questions, and then come see me if something is bothering you. Okay, that's what you should do if you miss a day of class. This is in contrast to the strategy some students adopt, which is to do nothing if they miss. Okay, this is what you should do. Okay, finally, if I need to, I can change the syllabus. So that's the syllabus. Let me just show you one more thing. On Moodle is this document. It's called Things You Should Know. So there's the syllabus, the schedule, and then this document in the main part of Moodle. So this document here goes through every single section of material we will cover and tells you what you should know. Okay? That's why it's called Things You Should Know. So in particular, when you're preparing for an exam, right, when you have an exam over, say, Chapter 10, you can go back to this and remind yourself, what was I supposed to know? Like, you should be able to do things like this, or like this. You should be able to do this, okay, etc. So hopefully this will give you some clarity when studying and some peace of mind, maybe, right? Because when I give you an exam, any question will come from, like, one of these categories, okay? So I'm not going to deceive you or trick you on an exam. I'm not trying to make you nervous or anxious. I'm trying to make you not nervous, okay? I want you to know exactly what you'll be tested on when you're tested, and this document hopefully can allay some of your fears or anxiety if you have any, Okay, so keep this document in mind. If you want to know from section 10.1, what was I supposed to know? Here you go, right? That's what you were supposed to know. Okay, so hopefully this was all clear. If any of the course policies or grading or whatever confuses you, please email me or ask me on Monday. See you then.